And the second email today comes to us from Tom Cruise. No, it comes to us from Harris Meddle, who writes, "Hey, John, I saw that Disney announced another live-action show, and it's going to be about Cassian Andor before the events of Rogue One. I think Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and I like the Cassian character a lot. Do you think an early rebellion story is a good idea, or should they have gone in another direction?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, Harris. And for those of you who don't know, what he's talking about is Bob Iger, the High Lord and Emperor of all things Disney, did an investor call, and he clarified and confirmed a couple of things. One of the things was he confirmed that Loki TV series, but we knew that was coming. He confirmed that what we've all known already, that the name of the Disney streaming service is going to be Disney Plus, but we've actually known that for a while, but he just kind of confirmed it. But one of the other things that was a real revelation was that it's not just The Mandalorian that Jon Favreau was working on that's going to be a live-action Star Wars TV show. They're also working on an early rebellion show that's going to focus on Diego Luna's character, Cassian Andor, from Rogue One. Interesting. Here's specifically what they had to say about this whole development. This is from Diego himself talking about going back to do this new show. "Going back to the Star Wars universe is very special for me. I have so many memories of the great work we did together and the relationships I made throughout the journey. We have a fantastic adventure ahead of us, and this new exciting format will give us a chance to explore this character more deeply." So there you have it. It's official. We've heard from Bob Iger. We've heard from Diego Luna himself. They are doing this live action show based on that. How do I feel about this? Well, I'll say this. On the one hand, I am constantly belly aching about the fact that Star Wars doesn't expand their universe enough. That Star Wars too often goes back to the familiar. That Star Wars doesn't do enough things to go out there and expand the universe. That's always been one of my complaints. So on its surface, you would think that I wouldn't be enthusiastic about a Cassian Andor show talking about the early formation of the rebellion. When in actuality, I actually kind of like the idea, and here's why. Are we going back and doing stuff with a character we already know? Yes. But at least it's one of the new characters. At least it's not a young Yoda movie. At least it's not a young Jabba the Hutt show. At least it's not Boba Fett. At least it's not this, that, or the other thing. At least it's one of the new characters they're doing it with. So that's one advantage. But also this whole thing about really exploring in a gritty kind of way the formation of the rebellion. Make it a Band of Brothers kind of show. Make it a war-themed kind of show, much like Rogue One was a war movie. If you can take that kind of spirit that Rogue One was done as a movie and bring that into a TV show for Disney Plus, call me crazy, but I think you got the potential for something very cool and something that actually can expand the Star Wars universe. And the Cassian character I thought was fascinating. They did more depth with that character than a lot of the other characters. Like, number one, you see that this is a guy, and this is one of the things I loved about him in Rogue One, who has done things he's not happy about. And not just in his past, he continues to do things that he doesn't like. Like that one scene in Rogue One where he killed his own informant just to save his own skin, to make sure this informant doesn't squeal to the Imperials. He murdered his own informant. And you could tell he hates himself for it. And as this movie progressed, you learn more and more that he has done a lot of dark things for the sake of the greater good. At least that's what he tells himself. He's a hero who at times does not act all that heroically, and he struggles with that. To me, that's not my favorite character, but it makes it a fascinating character to see on screen. And a type of character that, even though I'm the world's biggest Star Wars fan, I will admit that is the type of character we've kind of usually been in short supply of in the Star Wars universe. You know what I'm saying? So the notion of taking a character that fascinating with an actor this good and going into a realm that in a live action way we've never really explored before, Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm more enthusiastic for this than I am for the potential of an Obi-Wan movie. What? Yeah, I'll say it again. I am more enthusiastic for this than I am about the notion for an Obi-Wan movie. And I'm okay with an Obi-Wan movie, but I'm certainly more okay with this than I was for the notion of a Boba Fett movie when that was still a possibility. I'm certainly more enthusiastic about this than I was for a Han Solo movie that nobody asked for, even though I ended up really liking the movie. But still, I am more enthusiastic for this than a lot of the potential Star Wars stuff that they've been talking about. I think it's got some great upside. I think it's got some great potential. I think it's got some elements to it that we've never really touched on before, with a fascinating character at its core. And if you can do this show in the same kind of tone that you did Rogue One, it could be something very special. Or it could be a gigantic, huge waste. We won't know until we see it, but there you have it.